Today is Monday, February the 1st, 2016. I know there's a lot of concern about the stock market and people are making videos and having their opinions. And I guess I want to chime in with mine. I should say it's more than an opinion. It starts with a dream, then I will give you some facts, and then you can pray on it or come to your own conclusion. On February the 12th, 2014, which is almost 2 years ago, I had a dream that I was observing people of high economic stature that was had charts, things of that nature, talking about the stock market. Again, I was observing. I'm not even sure if they even see me in the room, but I will share with you all what I saw. I seen a chart. I seen two charts of the stock market. One, they were on like portable blackboards that was supported with a tripod, and one of the chalkboards, or I should say, I don't know if chalkboard is a good word, but one of the boards that you can draw a chart on with the highs and lows and the range and things of that nature. There were two of them. One of them were white and the other one were black. And as usual, black didn't mean too well. I think I can get away with that considering that I am black. But anyway, let me cut it out. Anyway, so the chart with the white chart, it showed the ups and downs of the stock market. And this was highlighted in red ink. It had a long time frame of a high peak, and then it tumbled some. Not enough to really cause a lot of concerns. Then it leveled off for a while. And then after a while, when it fell again, it looked like it was going over a waterfall. I mean, it crashed abruptly. I mean, just bam, it just crashed. The chart showed all of the trends of the stock market, including the crash. And the chart that signified the crash of the stock market, at the end of it, it looked just like a waterfall. You had the high, the lows, the medium range, and the lines on the chart that's showing how the stock market is reacting, up, down, medium, and so on. But when it crashed, and that was on a black chalkboard, and the crash was highlighted in pink, and it looked like a waterfall. I mean, it just crashed abruptly. That was on that section only. It crashed, tumbled, basically almost 50%. And again, I can't overstress or highlight how the crash looked. It looked like watching the waterfalls, or the water flow, I should say, at Niagara Falls. It just dropped steep, very steep, and then there appeared to be no bottom. So what I want to get into, tell you about the dream, give you some information, and then you can come to your own conclusions. Maybe about 6 months ago, 5 months ago, so I'll say I would say August of 2015, I partially recorded an audio conversation of Paul McGuire and this gentleman named Jerry Robinson. And here's the gist of it. I only recorded maybe about 2 or 3 minutes of it because I thought it was very interesting. They were talking about a trend or happening to create tremendous pressure on the United States dollar. And so what they were saying, that it would probably start with Saudi Arabia no longer accepting the United States dollar as the only source of payment for the purchase of Saudi Arabian oil. And that would be worldwide. Then they also said probably an announcement by China and or Russia. Let me repeat that again. They said like an announcement by China and or Russia, or perhaps a joint currency which they might come up with together, or China itself coming out with a currency that is gold backed. If they back the currency with gold, then it will create a tremendous demand for that currency with investors and traders and governments and so on. Let me recap that. Look for Saudi Arabia and the U.S. relations to continue to decline. Look for China and or Russia to announce a gold-backed currency which would currently disturb the current dollar regime. And this would bring about a global economic change. Okay, so what happened? On October the 30th, 2015, Christine Lagarde, I'm not sure if it's Lagarde or Lagarde, who is, nevertheless, she is the International Monetary Fund Manager Director. She announces that the Chinese renminbi is approved as a world currency. Now, let me share something with you to show you how much this is. I don't use profanity. I almost want to show you how much this stuff is staged and planned well in advance. In March of 2015, there were posters by the airport, I believe it was in Shanghai, already stating that the renminbi as the world's currency. It already had it stated like 7 months earlier before it was announced. We need to keep in mind that Obama and company have no love at all for America. Their only interest is to bring about a socialist world government, and you have to get rid of the world's long superpower with a good economic base, a strong military might, and that had somewhat moral standards. The United States never was the best. The United States was never perfect, but it was pretty much the best country in the world. So say what you got to say about it. And they, as he promised when he got in, there would be a fundamental change in America. And he didn't lie on that one. He lied about pretty much everything else, but he didn't lie about that one. And so, gotta remember, this is done on purpose. It's not an accident. It's not like they don't know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. So this is engineered to bring about the United States demise. And just in case you think that's not true, pay attention to the bill that Obama and Paul Ryan pretty much passed without Congress' consent during the New Year's holiday. And once you understand what that bill really meant, people shouldn't have doubt anyway. But I know certain people want to believe the best in other folks, and some black people like to believe the best in a black president or whatever color he is, and there's some other people of different ethnic groups just want to believe in something different. But nevertheless, let's look at the facts. Now let's talk about the stock market, and in particular, I'm going to talk about the Dow. This word, everybody talking about the Dow. Let's look at some facts. On January 2nd, 2013, the Dow Jones opened at 12,938 points. The year of 2013 ended with the Dow probably like a 27% increase at 16,504, give or take a little bit. So that was a tremendous year for the Dow. On January 2nd, 2014, the Dow opened at over 16,500 points. And on December 31st, the Dow closed at over 17,800 points. So still a nice increase for the Dow in the year 2014. On January 2nd, 2015, the Dow opened at over 17,800 points. And the Dow closed for the year on December 31st at 17,425 points. Currently, as of February 1st, 2016, the Dow stands at 16,449 points. What I'm getting at is that the Dow really hasn't stumbled that much if you take the overall big picture from 2013 to now. And actually take 2013, it's still doing quite well. But because of the powers that be need to always be greedy and drive, and just a little hiccup, it causes a mass panic again because of where the hearts of men are at. They are tied into the kingdom of this world and its systems. So again, the stock market has not fallen that much, but because of fear, evil, and emotionalism has gripped the hearts of men and women, this is what you get. And the sad thing is, you have a lot of Christians really thinking the end is near on the stock market, and it's not yet. It haven't really crashed that much. It's just people overreacting. I don't even know if there's there's more things to be concerned about with than a propped up stock market, because anyone knows that the stock market is just propped up. We got real issues, and the stock market is being propped up as a way of hiding it. And so people concerned, if you have them, should not be because of the stock market. It should be because of everything else around it. That's it. If you had to have a concern, that is what your concern should be about. More is made of a less than moderate drop of the stock market. The stock market, as I said before, will not collapse. It will not collapse just yet, but it will come. Now I want to go over the dream again. I had a dream that the stock market had its ups and downs, and it was on a white chart highlighted in red. It had a long time frame of a high peak, kind of like what we're seeing now, and then it tumbled some. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, I'm not sure if the tumble that we're seeing right now is the tumble, but again, in the dream, the tumble was not enough to cause any concerns if you're really paying attention. Then it leveled off for a while, and then it crashed for real, at least over 50%. And it caused a lot of, obviously, concern and, I don't want to use the word damage, but a lot of concerns. I guess you can't say damage to the economy of this country and of the world. Something that's not talked about. So if you had to look at the stock market and being concerned about, it's the stock market or the chart that monitors global trading. That a couple of weeks ago, I went out of town, so I don't even know what it is today. But there's a market that monitors global trading, a stock market for that, and it never was as low as it was a couple of weeks ago. It's never been that low. That would cause you to be concerned. Hopefully this is a blessing for a lot of people. I just want to say this again, that we got to get rid of denominationalism and color and ethnicity and all this other kind of crap that really that's alive and well in Christianity. We have to realize that westernized Christianity is not of God; it's actually of the devil, because it is designed for failure. And is signified by over 33,000 different denominations and or religious organizations, all underneath the heading of Christianity. And all of it supposedly come from one Bible, and with each denomination swearing that what they believe in is the truth, and the other 32,999 different denominations are believing a false doctrine of some kind. Now let's really think about that. We need to come together and pray and see what the Father is really talking about doing. How can we intercede against what's happening, or what's the message from heaven? Okay, everyone, you be blessed.